This is Infants on Thrones.
Listener essay.
Listener essay.
Welcome back to Infants on Thrones. I'm Glenn Ostland, and this is our November 2018 Listener Essay Contest, where you, the listeners, get to say what you want to say, how you want to say it, where you want to say it, and it is more than a privilege that where gets to be here, that we get to host these on Infants on Thrones, where so many of us are all infants, sitting on different kinds of thrones, right? Today's essay comes from Lincoln and is titled The Great Highway Through Oz. And after you listen, please go to our website and vote for it and provide the author some personal feedback. Winners will be announced in early December. First place gets $200, second place $100, and third place $50. All right, ready, set. All right, go ahead.
According to Mr. Caswell's scale, my Mormon cred is 90. A Utah County born and raised white male. I was taught deference and humility. I was praised as a peacemaker, and being a righteous third son, the comparisons to Nephi from my older brothers were not wholly in jest. I had always held an assumption, ingrained since birth, that the church was true, and the fact that one did not know this was a reflection on the individual and not the failure of the church to substantiate its claims. Eventually, the coin flipped. I remember exactly where I was when the question finally hit home. What if the church isn't what it claims to be? My deference to the narrative broke, and the rest of the cards began to fall away. There was plenty to work through, though, and still more to go, but I now look down on a pile of face cards. Most importantly, I know the church's problems are not based on my failures or faithlessness. I am not the problem. You are not the problem. The LDS Church, the Mormon Church, yea, even the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, fails by its own standards. The emperor has no fucking clothes. The Wizard of Oz lends several symbols or analogies to a transitioning Mormon or post-Mormon worldview. My song, The Highway Through Oz, draws on these ideas. It casts the land of Oz as a reflection of Mormonism. To the rest of the world, Oz is a single stop on a great road, a small patch of humanity in a vast sea. To those isolated within the Technicolor bubble, it is monolithic, the best and only real true world, full of light and color. Like the straight and narrow path that leads to heaven, its peculiar yellow brick road commands special travelers, though few in number. In contrast, the great and worldly highway carries vast hordes to unspeakable corners. Great and wide is the road to hell. This single line from the song encapsulates so many Mormon ideas. The tune opens with a tabernacle-like resonance, evoking apostolic sermons, their power seated in stoking fears of the outside world, while also emphasizing, because they reject the world, how elect the tribe of Oz is. Like regular church lessons, the phrase is repeated again and again in proper indoctrinative fashion. The anthem is subsequently taken up, though a bit stilted, by a missionary-like choir, repeating as they have been taught. Suddenly, an independent voice asserts itself, one who for whatever reason has begun to see, through the cloying mass of shining white faces and glaring bright colors, the world beyond. One for whom the surfeit of saccharine sweetness and infantilizing lollipop-guild industry is made to feel sickness of stomach. The illusion has been exposed. It is impossible now to pay no mind to the men behind the curtain, while external apostates and worldly sources often detect and dissect the fraud. Ironically, it is more the purveyors of the illusion themselves who betray the ruse and expose its machinations, which they almost seem blind to. Perhaps this land of excessive light has damaged their vision. For our disillusioned subject, the colors fade. Enlightened but weary, this individual accelerates on the highway away from Oz, into the hopeful yet still dark morning of the unknown. anguished, angry, optimistic, lonely, dizzy, joyous, emancipated. Lastly, contemplative. Great and wide the road to hell. Not trite or vapid, but loaded and heavy, the price it costs to leave, the heartache of seeing friends and family still marching in time to the shallow arrogance of Oz and its wizards. What world will come when the orange streetlights dim and darkness gives way to the stark light of day?
Great and wide is the road to hell. 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 Bastards who had me sell your Ozian hell. You demonize the wise, whitewashed all with lies. But the history you're ducking and your wanton brainwash shucking, oh, what you shall, it's breaking the fucking spell.
You pass away, you rolled in your grave. The colors fade out, the face of gray. A mental play tomorrow came as an emotional stage.
Great and wide the road to hell. Great and wide the road to hell. Great and wide the road to hell. Great and wide. How great the road to hell. Paperback writer.
Hey, that was great. All right, listeners, don't forget to go to our website and vote for this essay, provide some feedback. And if you've got something you want to say and you can squeeze it in before the end of November, record your own listener essay, send it to us, we'll post it. Come support us on Patreon. And as always, thanks for listening to Infants on Thrones.
Hi, this is Hillary.
Matthew, Ryan,
Carol,
Keith,
Ashley, and I like to play bingo online while listening to Infants on Thrones.
You can comment on this episode on the website, infantsonthrones.com.
And if you really like what you hear, give the Quorum a 5-star rating and write a short review on iTunes.
I did.
Anyone for the closing prayer?
Thank you for listening to Infants on Thrones.